Good morning, class. Today we'll be seeing about the wound ballistic, that in a specific about the entry and the exit wound in a case of firearm. Okay, so the general classification of firearms is a smooth barreled weapon or a smooth bore, that is airgun, shotgun, or a rifle or a groove barrel. Rifle bore, example revolver, automatic pistol, service rifle, or a sporting rifle. Okay, so there are four components of ammunition. First, the primer, as you can see in the below slide. Primer, it can be rimmed or a centerfied. Okay, cartridge case or a shot case, propellant, and the projectile. Okay, so this is the photo of ammunition showing the four components of the ammunition. Fine. Now there are two types of cavity in a case of firearm wound. Permanent, that is the crush. As you can see in the slide, the red highlight is the permanent cavity or the permanent crush, and the temporary, that is due to the stretching effect or the blast effect of the firearm, which usually based on the amount and the rate of tissue displacement due to the firearm injury. Okay, so this is the permanent and the temporary effect of a firearm. This is the ammunition showing the parts of the bullets. Okay, so the shotgun types, it must have been covered in the practical. Now coming to the mechanism of the injury. Okay, as the missile traverses the body, it causes injury by transferring some of its available energy. Okay, and the severity of damage is proportional to the amount of kinetic energy and the density of the involved tissue. Okay, so the gunshot wounds are a type of wound, so it on the basis of the bullet used, then distance from the weapon which it is fired, then location and trajectory path of the injury, and the permanent and the temporary cavity. Okay, now the entrance wound have the following characteristic: the central defect, ring of dirt, abrasion ring, and the inverted edges. So these are the four important components of the entrance wound of a firearm. Now coming to the classification of entrance wound. Okay, we can classify rifle entrance wound according to the range of the fire into contact shot, close range wound, that is up to 20 cm of a distance, intermediate wound 20 cm to 1 meter, and distance range wound, that is over the 1 meter. Now type of wound caused by the rifle weapon. Coming to contact wound. Okay, so when a weapon is fired in contact with the skin, the appearance can vary on the basis of the according to the whether the muzzle was firmly pressed against the surface so as to form a tight seal, appears more like a shotgun, or whether it is a loose contact so that the backward jerk or recoil can permit a small gap to appear. Okay, so it depends on the basis of a tight grip or a loose contact. Most rifle weapon ammunition is clean compared with many shotgun cartridges, so that the shoot may be absent altogether. Now contact wound over a bony support, usually the skull. So the muzzle gases entering the subcutaneous tissue cannot expand by displacing adjacent soft structures and are reflected from the bone to raise a dome of a gas that often splits the entry. So there will be a presence of a split wound around the wound. Fine. So that was the contact wound. Now the close range wound, when there is a short distance between the muzzle and the body surface. Okay, so the wound appearance will almost variably of a circular shape. There will be no tearing and the wound edge may be inverted. Now the medium distance wound, once the discharge of a rifle iron is greater than a meter, there is nothing to indicate increase the range. Okay, so there will be a presence of a abrasion collar. So in a slide you can see the presence of a abrasion collar, the black color lining. Now the exit wound of rifle weapon, the muzzle velocity is important in determining whether a single bullet will completely traverse the body or not. Okay, so in general they are characterized by usually larger than the entrance wound, as compared to entrance wound, they are of a smaller size in compared to bullet, and these exits are of a larger size as compared to the entrance wound. Irregularly shaped, there will be eversion of the skin edges, whereas in case of entrance wound there is the inversion of a skin edges. No powder tattooing or sooting or a soiling or a stippling or etc. present in exit wound or may have a abraded edges. Okay, so in case if you want to distinguish between the entrance and the exit wound, then entrance there will be a inversion of edges, and there will be may or may not be present of a stippling or tattooing or a soiling. Okay, in case of a exit wound, there will be a irregular shape, and there will be eversion of edges, and tattooing or soiling or stippling will be absent. Okay, so this in a slide, this is the exit wound. As you can see, there is no tattooing or anything. So in this slide you are seeing difference between the entrance and the exit wound. Is you can easily see the skin is inverted in the entrance wound and skin is everted in the exit wound. Okay, so how will you estimate the shooting distance? So in forensic medicine, 3 range of the fire are distinguished according to the morphological criteria, how the skin changes are present. On the basis of that, contact range, short or close or a medium, or the long distance ones. Okay, so what are the gunshot wounds? Wounds from bullets are caused by the energy of the bullets. Energy increases with the speed of the bullet and the weight of the bullet. The severity of injury also depends on the shape of a bullet as it strikes the body. Now, entrance versus the exit wound, we have already discussed that. Okay, characteristic of entrance wound: punch out hole in the skin. It can be rounded or a oval in a shape. However, the diameter is usually smaller than that of the bullet. Okay, because after the bullet enters through the skin retracts due to its elasticity. This will make the wound appear smaller than the bullet that has passed through. Okay, marginal zone without epidermis and small amount of blood escape through ring. So there will be presence of a abrasion ring, grayish or a black dirt. So this is your entrance wound. You can easily see. Fine. Now characteristic of exit wound. Usually the size is larger than that of the entry wound. It will be of irregular shape with extruding tissue but no abrasion margin. More blood escapes from the exit wound. Okay, so as you can see in the slide, it is a entrance wound. There is a multiple stippling or a tattooing is present. Okay, so here it is also the entrance wound. This is the contact shot wound. Fine, entrance wound. The same, there is a presence of a muzzle mark. This is a contact shot, so there is a presence of a muzzle mark plus the local burning of the skin. So it is why it is a entrance wound. Okay, here there is a splitting of the skin. Now classification of entrance wound, relation to the range from muzzle to target. 3 ranges. Okay, we have already discussed that: contact, short, close or a medium, intermediate and long distance range. Contact range, the muzzle was held against the body surface at the time of a discharge. Okay, so the combustion gases have a high content of CO up to 50%. So the surrounding tissue often assumes a bright cherry red color, and in entrance wound is above a bony support. The subcutaneous expansion of the penetrating gas may cause radial skin tears due to overstretching, resulting in a stellate wound of a entrance. So here you can see there is a black color ring plus there is a stellate shape appearance around the wound. Okay, so this is the characteristic of a contact range shot. Now close and intermediate one. Okay, so there will be no muzzle mark. The burning of the skin with blistering may be present. Tissue within and around the wound is cherry red pink due to CO. The wound is surrounded by a large defect of stippling or a tattooing. Okay, the distribution pattern or powder tattooing varies according to the angle of a fire. In what angle you are firing, the tattooing or the stippling depends on that. Fine. The powder tattooing helps to determine whether or not the victim was alive before the shoot. How? If a reddish brown to orange red color tattooing exits, that indicates that the individual was in fact alive, and if the powder has residue gray or a yellow mark, instead the individual was dead before the shooting. But however, this differs in a case to case. Okay, so this is the entrance wound surrounding by a stippling or a powder tattooing. Fine. Now the distance range short: no soot or no powder grains, no tattooing. Shotgun rarely produce an exit wound, but if shot was in the head, the skull may explode with the gas pressure from a contact wound, ejectile part of the even all the brain from the cranial cavity. Okay, so you can see in the X-ray, this is the shotgun wound showing the multiple pellets. Fine. So after this lecture, you are supposed to know how to differentiate between the entrance and the exit wound of a firearm. So entrance wound, there will be a inversion of the edges, there will be a presence of the skin changes in a form of a abrasion ring, tattooing, stippling or a burning. Okay, then it is of a smaller size as compared to the bullet, because due to the elasticity skin retracts. Fine. Whereas in a case of exit wound, it is of a bit bigger size as compared to the entrance wound, and there will be no skin changes in a case of tattooing or a splitting or a soiling, and the margins will be everted. Fine. So this is the basic difference between the entrance.